the article Class-Wide Peer Tutoring, an integration strategy to improve reading skills and promote interactions among students with autism and general education peers. Class-wide peer tutoring is a peer-mediated teaching strategy that has proven to be effective across a variety of subjects and grade levels in increasing academic achievement for students with and without disabilities. Class-wide peer tutoring refers to a class of instructional strategies in which students are taught by peers who are trained and supervised by the classroom teacher. About 30 years ago, Juniper Gardens Children's Project in Kansas City, Kansas, created the oldest and most popular class-wide tutoring model. Their model was created by educational researchers and a general education classroom teacher who was trying to successfully integrate children with learning disabilities into her general education setting. While creating this model, the teacher and the researchers felt that there were certain criteria that the program had to incorporate to work. This criteria was that it would not make extra work for the teacher, benefit all children, use materials and resources found in the existing classroom, supplement rather than supplant current instruction, and be conducted within existing instructional time periods. The Juniper Gardens program has 4 primary components: weekly competing teams, highly structured reciprocal tutoring procedures, daily point earning, public posting, contingent rewards, and direct practice in functional instructional activities. Class-wide peer tutoring is a teaching strategy that allows students to work together in pairs. It is useful to teachers because they don't have enough time in every day to work one-on-one with each student. This allows students to get one-on-one time with their peers working on different subjects. Children are normally put in relatively random pairs. On Monday, before the class-wide tutoring would begin, the students would all take an assessment to see how well they are doing with the material that they are learning. In several studies, they showed the teacher using a covered box and different colored strips of paper, for example, red and blue. The children would pick their piece of paper and be put on teams of partner groups in reference to their color. They would then be paired off by the teacher with their decision on who would work best together. The teacher would go over a full lesson with the students on how to work as a tutor and partners. The teacher would go over the lesson that the tutor would be teaching to the other student and vice versa when they switch roles. The students would have a script to go off of while working in their pairs. The tutor is responsible for reading the questions and letting the two teams know whether their answers are correct or not. In several of the studies, the tutor would reward points for correct answers and points for incorrect answers being corrected. The points would then go towards their different colored team, which makes for the class-wide tutoring to become a game if the teacher prefers it that way. At the end of the week, the students would take a test to see how much they learned throughout the week of tutoring. This would allow the teacher to see the growth of the students in his or her classroom. Most of the studies also have the students create a graph to see their scores throughout the week. This seemed to get the students really excited about what they were doing and increase their desire to do well in their tutoring. During the tutoring process, the teacher would be going around the room checking on the different partners. The teacher would include more information as well as give bonus points for appropriate tutoring behavior. Class-wide peer tutoring has been shown to be helpful for all types of students. It is shown to help with students of all race and even students that are identified with disabilities. It has also shown to work for students that struggle to pay attention, have issues with learning, and problems with emotions and behavior. Class-wide peer tutoring has been studied and used in classrooms ranging from pre-kindergarten to high school. It is mostly used in elementary classrooms, but has been shown to increase learning and productivity of students of all ages. Class-wide peer tutoring has been used to teach spelling to 3rd and 4th grades. to teach reading, math, and spelling to students identified as at risk for academic failure, and to teach social studies in junior high students. According to several articles, both cooperative learning and peer tutoring have been successful in increasing and maintaining high levels of academic performance for all students. In addition, these are both strategies that require high levels of student interactions and therefore provide ample opportunity for students with and without disabilities to practice appropriate social skills. They have also seen great strides with students that have more severe disabilities like autism and retardation. They see that peer tutoring allows these children to follow modeling and prompting done by their classmates. There are so many ways to include class-wide peer tutoring in the inclusive general education classroom. When pairing children off for peer tutoring, I feel it would be best to pair children with a disability with a child that is on a higher grade level, unless it is a disability that is purely dealing with the social cues of the child. If the child is dealing with social issues, I feel it would be best to be paired with a child on the same academic level. This is because that child wouldn't have any issues academically but would benefit from being paired with another child in order to work on social interactions. This would help every child in the classroom, but greatly benefit a child that has issues with social interactions. In the case with a child with a learning disability, they should be paired with any peer. I feel this way because the one-on-one focus in the tutoring situation would be great for that child. It would give them more of a focus for their attention, and they would be able to work at a slower pace and ask questions as needed. The other child would still be able to work at their own pace without any hindrance. The great thing about peer tutoring is that the tutor will always have the answer available. The tutor doesn't have to be able to answer the questions right away, so a learning disability wouldn't be affecting them during the tutoring session. Class-wide peer tutoring would allow for students with learning disabilities or other types of disabilities to be partnered with students that didn't have the same problem. It would allow for these students to learn from one another. Studies have found that class-wide peer tutoring, with roots in the social learning literature, they emphasized equality of opportunity, mutual assistance, shared goals, interdependency, and group cohesion. Also, with the scripts provided by the teacher, it would allow students that may suffer with social anxiety or autism affecting their social cues to react more appropriately and feel more comfortable working in that social setting. It also increases the social interactions that happen throughout the day that would increase the confidence of a child with a disability. It also allows students who are afraid of asking a question to their group have the chance to ask their question to a peer privately. Research findings indicated that class-wide peer tutoring significantly improved student academic performance on both curriculum-specific and standardized measures of achievement, reduced disruptive behavior, enhanced interpersonal interactions among students from different cultural and linguistic backgrounds, as well as between children with disabilities and their normally developing peers.
Get together to work together. Good, Jasmine. What else? To cooperate campus. You're going to act pretty good and help each other. Tara? Being friends, Trey? Being nice to each other. That's right. We're going to take turns. Let's put our hands down. During pause, all of you are going to take turns to be the coach. Because you players. And you're going to be helping each other. And you're going to have lesson sheets that look like this. This picture is going to help coaches remember to say what number. And this picture is going to help players remember to show how late. We've also got smiley faces and a flag. The smiley face will help you remember to mark points, and the flag is going to help you remember to switch jobs. So if you're the coach, then you'll take a turn to the player. If you're the player, you'll take a turn as what you're the referee. Coach. Good listening. Let's talk a little bit about the PALS rules, the way that we're going to do PALS together. It's going to be really important to be nice and helpful to help your partner. It's going to be important to talk only about PALS, only about math. And it's also going to be important to use your soft PALS voice. Because when you're doing PALS with your partner, we'll all be talking at the same time. We use our outside voice to make it loud. Everybody say PALS. So I'll take a first turn to be the coach, and when I do, I'm going to ask you what number. And you're going to show up. You're going to hold your hand to show how many you'll all be right. Are you ready? And if somebody makes a mistake, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to tell you the right number, and I'm going to show you how many. That's how I'm helping you. You're all doing such a good job. What number? What number? 5. I like the way I see most people. Be sure you put your hand up and show me how many, okay? Try again. What number? 7. Good job. What number? 5. Good. I like the way you put your hands right back down again. Sean, do you remember to put your hands right back down? Good. What number? 8. Good. What number? 3. What number? 7. Good. What number? 4. What number? 9. What number? 6. What number? 3. What number? 1. That was a big stretch. Let's see. You guys were doing a really good job. Hey, Brian, would you like to come up and be coach? And we'll all be your players, okay? Come on up. Stand right here. Okay. Do you want to keep going from here? What number? 4. What number? 0. Oh, good thinking. Stop just a second. Look at the sign. What kind of problem is it? Where do you start? The ones column. What plus what? 7 plus 2. Write your answer. Where do you go? Where do you move next? Big times column. What plus what? 5 plus 2. Write your answer. Look at the sign. What kind of problem is it? Addition. Where do you start? In the ones place. What plus what? 5 plus 2. What your answer? Where do you move next? Tens column. What plus what? 6 plus 0. What your answer?